Last night I was up reading because there was some things when you're growing and trying to evolve, you self-reflect, and when you self-reflect, you find things about yourself that you may dislike, and so then you're going to look for ways to correct it. So yesterday I was just doing the research, and although I heard of soul ties, I've learned of something titled Etheric cores. There are four types of those cores: parental cores, lovers cores, um, Shasha cores, and past experiences cores. Four types of ethical cores of attachment. This one right here I'm going to read. When there is energy cores between lovers. Cores are strands of energy that define the laws of time and space. You can bind an energy core with someone you never met or someone who is no longer an active part of your life. The mother nurtures the premature child with emotional energy, forming a deep emotional bond with him or her in the process. Because that cord is formed with the mother during the development of the fetus. That is why most of us feel a palpable sense of belonging towards our mothers. It's the fact that the mother always knows. Well, the omniscient quality can be attributed to the presence of the etheric cords, such as parental cords. The strongest cords are formed with people who hold a very special place in our life. Most of the time, these are family and friends who we know a lot about from the past to the darkest fears. Um, for instance, if you have a mental connection with someone, your crown chakra is the most probably aligned with them. Your crown chakra is up here. You will be able to have conversations and erudite conversations and share your deepest emotional vulnerability with them. I feel that when you're in a relationship with someone, you should be uplifting each other emotionally, mentally, physically, as well as spiritually. If your relationship is just based on sex, that relationship is doomed to fail. Because when all the excitement is worn off, that person is no longer going to want you, and he or she is going to go look for someone who can challenge them. Similarly, the core of these base chakras may bring about intense feelings of sexual desires between two people. Energy cores also give you an ability to tap into someone's thoughts and alter their moods. Lovers who are connected at a spiritual level often feel sad and happy at the same time. This isn't coincidental. When we're sad, we transfer our negative energy to our lover through etheric cords that act as mass transmit for emotional energy. Now I understand why in my first marriage when I used to get upset or be in a negative mood state. He would be in a negative mood state. Same with my husband now. When I'm in a negative mood or I'm upset or angry, it tends to affect him. Very interesting. Also, sometimes we're able to identify the problems perturbing our lovers accurately if they are having bouts of depression or feeling anxious, and we just know. And that is interesting too because I was on the phone with my husband yesterday, and we are separated. We've been separated for almost 5 years, but he has sent into my life about 8 months ago, and he wants to reconcile. But it is interesting to say that because we live in two different states. He was like, Assalamu alaikum. I was like, wa alaikum salam. And he said, how are you? So what's going on with you? He's not standing in my face. He was on the phone. He already knew that something was bothering me. How did he know? Maybe that's the explanation right there. They don't have to tell us or seek our attention. Not all ethic cords are strong and lasting. Most of them break after some weeks. No wonder most love is fleeting. For instance, if the sole purpose of a relationship is the fulfillment of lust, it will nosedive into oblivion and will plunge the ethnic core with it. That's why I have said if your relationship is built on just sex, the relationship is not going to go anywhere. Because after a while, that feeling is going to flee. You thinking you're in love when you were really lusted, which only leads to infatuation. This is something that women have to really go study, because a man can lay down with a woman, not like her, not be attracted to her, not even want her sexually, but because it's all about reaching an orgasm, it's all about self gratification, that this man can lay down with this woman and physically have sex with her and not be emotionally attached. That's why women really have to be careful who they give themselves to and who they stay with long term, because you're loving this man and this man is not loving you back. And that is sad. A lot of women be in a situationship thinking it's a relationship because the man is still hanging around because he can get all this stuff without have to work for it. But this woman is thinking this man loves her and wants to be there. But soon as someone comes along better, he's going to drop that. And it's really sad that women have to really begin loving themselves and validating themselves and stop looking for love outside of themselves, because that's how you tend to get hurt and then get in these relationships that you should have never been in the first place. I'm learning a lot. Like they said, for instance, if the sole purpose of a relationship is the fulfillment of lust, it will nosedive into oblivion and will plunge the ethic core with it. Only those relationships have strong, enduring energy cores that have reached a high level of mutual understanding and trust. So if you want to strengthen your energy core with someone, you must endure with them through thick and thin. Only then will you deem yourself worthy of willing a resilient ethical core. Etheric. I'm probably saying the word wrong. I'm going to tell you that now. Etheric. Etheric core. Sometimes energy cores are more of a curse than a blessing. People in unrequited love find it increasingly hard to serve their energetic connection with someone they are infatuated with. And I was just talking about that. Women be thinking they love a man, but it really be infatuation, because simply because he may give her great sex, but he's not stimulating her emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. It's just basic. Oh, he when we have sex, it feel good. Hell, she might not be even reaching an orgasm, because she may not know her body, but because he's giving that penetration, he may kiss her, he may feel on her, he may caress her. She falls in love with that, not really vexing the man. What I mean by vexing the man is that getting time to know the man and doing your police work. You have to find out about this man that you investing all your time with. So it goes on to say, sometimes people spend their whole lives waiting on someone who doesn't love them back. What was I just saying? To be in a situationship, thinking it's a relationship, wasting all these months and years with a man because you're waiting for them to love you just as much as you love them, but they don't feel the same way about you as you feel about them. And you trying and you trying and trying until this man get up and walks out your life, and then he go be with someone else. He was with you for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Never married you. Never really committed to you. Never did anything. And then he go meets another woman. In 3 months he's engaged. Next in a year he's married. Men like women who gonna challenge them. If you just want to put up with his shit while he mistreats you, you're not gonna be the woman he wants to marry or be in a committed relationship with. So it goes on to say, sometimes people spend their whole lives waiting on someone who doesn't love them back. It's because they haven't fixed their etheric course to their existence. They no longer care about being loved back. All that matters to them is diving into a pool of their lover's thoughts. They create an artificial image of their lover inside their heads. And they are more in love with that image than the reality of the unrequited love. There are ways you can break off energy because of someone. However, it requires tapping into your own spiritual realms and resisting natural human urges. And they have more on. Okay. Let me continue reading because there's more. Etheric cords can be strong or weak, thick or thin, and bright, sparkly, or dull and fade. Whatever feelings are running through these cords determine what they look like. The following are general explanations of why a cord may appear a certain way. Strong. If the cord is strong, developed through close relationships such as with your mother, father, child, spouse, lover, long-term best friend, or someone from a past life of yours. Weak. Developed through interaction with strangers such as shop assistants, friends of a friend, walking past a stranger in the street, shows an interest reaction. Usually a weak cord starts to develop and then dissolve very quickly as the distance becomes further apart. Weak cords are easily broken. Thick. The thicker the cord, the stronger the bond. Shown in people who have intense bonds with each other. Example, a parent and child who are particularly close. Lovers most commonly have very thick etheric cords connecting them, and even arch enemies have thick etheric cords connecting them. Long-term rivalry and hate between two people causes a thick cord. Thick cords are mostly common associated with a fruit strong past life connections between two people. Thin cords are shown in a flimsy relationship between two people or one that isn't strongly connected, such as acquaintance, a marriage that is loveless but has no hate or resent in it, sex-only relationships, parent-child relationship that holds no real ground. And bright and sparkly, these cords are beautiful to see and very positive. They are present between two people who hold deep love, care, and understanding for each other. An etheric cord can only be bright and or sparkly if it is strong and thick. People who are genuinely in love with each other, twin souls, and very close parent-child relationships have bright, sparkly cords. Dull and faded. These cords show negative feelings and distance between people. Cords can change over time, so a loving, caring couple or friendship can go from initially having a bright, sparkly cord between them to a dull, faded one. Enemies and rivals who have a mutual hate for each other have a strong dual cord attachment. As you can see, there are a variety of relationships that we come across daily, and these all produce cords. Etheric cords transmit feelings, so even if there is a weak or a thin etheric cord between yourself and someone else, you could be unintentionally picking up some of their energies and feelings. Unexplained negative feelings can all come from complete strangers and we hardly interact with. This is why everyone needs to learn how to cut etheric cords. Then she goes on to explain how to cut the etheric cords, which I will read in another video. Peace, blessings, and a whole lot of love. God says, Hadia, there is so much information to learn. You must be willing to do self-reflection. Acknowledge your own negative behaviors. Acknowledge your own bad choices in life. Take responsibility for the shit that you have created in your life. If you have a mess going on in your relationship, you need to check yourself. Because if we would stop looking for love and validation outside of ourselves, we would not end up with people that we should not be with. Peace, blessings, and a lot of love. There's so much to learn about soul ties, spiritually transmitted diseases, and etheric cords. Toodaloo.